Hello. It is day 20 of 365, and I am one day away from it being a habit. This is take two. You know what? As unreliable of a narrator as I am, meaning I can censor things or keep things vague, I will be honest when it's not the first take. Because obviously all of this is unscripted. But this is take two because take one was going too long and I was starting to rant a little bit. And I don't like that about myself. When I start to dovetail into too negative or too, too negative, I think. It's weird, right? It's like I can be negative to myself and about myself, but if I kind of go too negative on the external, we don't need a talking head. Talking about one other person adding to the noise of what's wrong with our world because if everything is being fed into the big AI machine. Conspiracies. Then let's add some more positive. Today is a day in the life of a Christian. A Christian Christian. Today went to church and I was reminded of the simplest and yet most complicating thing that is the tenet of my faith. And, I thought about that song I grew up with. And I did mention this before, but I'm mentioning it again because it's worth addressing. I do not know if this is going to start to copyright infringe because I'm not quoting it, I'm not playing it, I'm singing it, but we shall see because I'm always fascinated by how the algorithm works. So the song is, and I need to find who wrote it first because for me, I've been singing it long enough where it feels like it should be out of copyright, but who knows? I don't know. I am a C, I am a CH, I am a CHRISTIN. Because I have CHRIST in my HEART, and I will LIVETRNALY. Ooh, that's the first time I've sang into this mic, and I cannot hold a tune. This thing has an auto tune, but I don't know if it actually works, or if I can use it right, or if this mic is just not good. Who knows? But yeah, I'm Christian. I think I need to be more comfortable just saying it to the internet. Because every time I think I see people who talk about their faith, there's immediately, because I do this too, and I'm going to be very honest. The second you declare, I am Christian, and I think this is why I shied away from talking about this. I think there's an expectation of, oh, so you're, and you think, and there's some of the fill in the blank I disagree with, and some of it, it doubles back on me. Because, if you were an ambassador to a company, right? There are those ambassadors. If you represent something, you need to represent. You need to. And in my mind, I think some of that representation gets twisted, and I'm working on that. Loving myself, trusting that God loves me, and that's the point. It's not perfection, just honest testimony, to the big trial that is life. So I think I've always shied away from it, because I don't want to, yell it in the rooftops, yell it into people's ears. I wish people believed in God, and people believed in Jesus, and the stories, and I say story because that's the narrative that is our life. But the whole point of free will and that one of the other tenets of our faith is that we can't force people, so I'm not going to. And it's weird, right? Because when you say you're not going to force people, then how do you talk to people about it? Because if people do want to come to know about it, they need people to talk to. and they needed people to engage in conversation. I am woefully unprepared for that conversation. And I'm trying to be more prepared because there's so many like hard things to talk about on this world nowadays. There's so many things that where I have my flagpole in the, firmly planted. But there's so many, like, the waters are coming in, the tide is rolling in, and it's starting to creep up, and I'm trying to keep that stake my claim in my faith, and it's hard. It's hard because it's like, I don't know if I'm a good representative of it, and I also don't, because there's pressure too, because if you're an ambassador of something, and you, ooh, did I say it? If you screw up, like saying bad words like that, then people judge you. We live in like a cancel friendly town. The interesting thing, the fun thing about this is my objective in this is not to get anywhere cancelable. Like, and I think that's what I like about YouTube still. I mean, even more so now that it's monetized and big and whatever. If you want to do it, power to you. You always are at risk of being canceled. But then there's a space for people like me where I want to go back to the old days of YouTube, where you just put stuff on the internet to put stuff on the internet. Yes, you should be able to talk to people around you and not feel like this exhibitionist side where you have to put stuff on the internet, but we do have this. We live in this world. Yeah. So yeah, went to church, was reminded I am Christian, happy to be, proud to be, inspired by it. I'm hoping that through the course of this year, I grow in loving myself so I can love others, in telling more people about Christianity, and that it's not, amongst other things, people yelling all the time. I feel like there's a lot of yelling. And sometimes we do need to yell. Sometimes we do need to, like if someone's in danger, if you see someone about to walk in the middle of the street and there's a car coming, you're not just going to be like, hey, there's a car. You're going to scream at them, you're going to yell at them, and if it looks like they're wearing headphones, you're going to run up to them and grab their headphones. Yes, so there are moments when yelling needs to happen. But then I think there's moments when you're like, yeah, so cool. Mm, but anyway, I am going to do my Bible reading, because I kind of failed at that yesterday. For really, really stupid reasons. Really stupid. It's my own prejudice against the book of Leviticus. Like, that's part of the plan, that's where we are right now, and there's a part of me that, like, dreads reading it, because it's when things get boring and technical, and yeah, I think more and more as I read the Bible this year, with a bit more, I guess, intention with study in mind, and just like, in case I do have to have those shouty conversations, and I can defend myself with like, hey, I know what I'm talking about. And sometimes the I know what I'm talking about could be the I have no idea what I'm talking about. But that's sort of the point. We can't put God in a box. And sometimes it just feels dry and boring. But I need to be reminded of like the good and the hopeful. And the fact that this is there for a reason. And it's all good. There's nothing bad. I mean, even though, yeah. But that's it. That's how I'm gonna end my night. admitting my flaws, admitting that just because I declare it over and over again, don't expect anything great from me. This is just another person on the internet telling their story. And mine, specifically as a Christian, is gonna come from that lens. I'm gonna sound a lot more tortured, which works for when I start spouting my poetry and philosophy and artsiness. um, but I am happy. I think a couple of days ago I really was struggling finding my happiness because I was like knee deep in depression. I don't know if I'm fully out of my depression yet. I actually don't think I am. I need to have more serious conversations and confrontations but even in the midst of my me, I can comfortably say I am rediscovering the joy of it all through the struggle, the internal struggle. And that is where I will leave with it. That's how I feel, and that's how I hope to encourage the internet today. Life is not easy. We struggle. We all struggle with insecurities and doubts. And if you have something in your life you can hang your hat on, I pray that it brings you joy. There's a lot of crap going around. And it's not just going to go away overnight. But I think that's the point of this 365-day journey. To see how long did it take to sort itself out. To get better, or maybe did it get worse? But I think that's the whole point of this commitment. To see, to record, to analyze, to look back, to cringe. I'm already cringing. I'm cringing as I record this. So much more am I gonna cringe as I look back. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna start recording so I can maybe add some lights. Okay. Good night.